We searched for a man named Jim Sonnett. And the legends folks tell may be true. Most call him gunman and killer. He's my son, who I hardly knew. I raised Jim's boy from the cradle. Till the day he said to me, I have to go find my father. And I reckoned that's how it should be. So we ride, Jim's boy and me.
Hold it there. Howdy.
Howdy.
You, gents just passing through town?
Could be. Could be we plan to stop and have us a hot meal. Make any difference?
Well, no, I just like to sort of keep track of any strangers, that's all. I'm Sheriff Hawks.
How do? I'm Will Sonnett. This here's my grandson, Jeff.
Howdy.
I do.
So you're Will Sonnett, huh?
That's right.
Yeah, I heard about that trouble you got into over in Mesa. News travels pretty fast around here.
Well, we didn't start that trouble over in Mesa, Sheriff.
Oh, I know. Now, don't get me wrong, boy. You're welcome here.
Well, I reckon we'll be having some eats then, huh?
Well, fine. There's a good restaurant right on the corner near the stables. You can get your horses taken care of, too.
Much obliged.
Eddie, I got a job for you.
You better wait for Bill to get back from lunch, Sheriff. I can receive, but I can't send very well.
I don't want to send a telegram. I just want you to mount up and ride out past Morgan's Bluff.
What for?
There's an Army troop bivouac a few miles out. You can't miss them. Tell them Sonnett's here.
Jim Sonnett here in town?
No, not Jim. His father, Will.
Oh. Well, I knew Jim was wanted from time to time, but I've never heard his pa was.
Well, he's wanted real bad. Now get a move on fast.
Yes, sir.
That'll be 2 bits extra for the oats.
Oats? I didn't say to give him oats.
Well, they look mighty wore out.
Well, so did I, but that don't mean I ate extra. Except maybe for the pie.
Now, Grandpa.
No, sir, I only pay for what I ask in advance.
Here.
Special feed for the horses, fancy restaurants. First thing you know, you want me traveling a private railroad car.
Come on,
You
Grandpa.
mark my words, boy. 2 bits here and 2 bits there, it all adds up. Pretty soon you look in your pocket and it's as empty as a water trough on a hot day.
That's him, Sergeant.
Well, Sonnett, that's right. I don't like rifles pointed my way.
You're under arrest, sir.
What do you mean, arrest? For what?
You're wanted for questioning by Captain Bodine. Take their weapons, Sheriff.
The least you can do is tell us what the charge is.
Captain will explain that.
And just where's the captain? Fort Leavenworth?
No, sir. He's out in the field. Bivouac, a little ways from here.
I know my rights, and if I'm under arrest, you take me to the fort.
I have my orders, sir. Now, please mount. We're prepared to deal with any resistance.
Captain?
Will Sonnett and his grandson.
Well done, Sergeant. How do you do, Mr. Sonnett?
I'm doing poorly right now.
Well, if you step down from your horses, the sergeant will see they're taken care of.
No, that's fine. Now, I want to know just why we're under arrest.
You're not under arrest, Mr. Sonnett.
What do you mean?
It was imperative that I locate you. We knew you were somewhere in the territory, so we wired various peace officers to be on the lookout for you. To ensure their cooperation, we let them assume that you were a wanted man.
I don't understand this, Captain, not one bit.
Well, if you'll step into my tent, I'll be glad to explain. Sit down, please.
I think better on my feet.
Mr. Sonnett, quite a few years ago, you helped persuade the Sioux chief Redleaf to surrender to General Harney.
That's right. I was scouting for Bill Harney at the time.
And you knew Redleaf very well.
What are you getting at, Captain?
A week ago, 24 braves helped Redleaf to escape from the reservation. Now there's war talk.
Well, if you're asking me for my opinion, I'm afraid I can't give you one.
We want more than an opinion from you, Mr. Sonnett. You see, Redleaf and his men have yet to attack because they have very few weapons. But several days ago, a man named Cochran came up this way with rifles and ammunition.
Cochran, you say?
Sam Cochran. He used to run a trading post near Leavenworth.
Yeah, I remember the fella. He was running guns even then.
We picked up Cochran and one of his men. We got the ammunition, but he'd already hidden the guns. It's our job to find out where.
Well, that makes sense, but what don't is why you picked me up.
We're holding Cochran and one of his men in the jail in the town you just came from. Now, naturally, he's not going to say a word to us about the guns, but he might say something if he knew he was talking to a man who was a good friend of Redleaf.
Meaning me?
We could put you in the same cell block with Cochran, and we could charge you with trying to run guns to Redleaf, too.
Just how long will this be, Captain?
Overnight. If we have no information on the guns by tomorrow, we have orders to move Cochran and his helper to the stockade at the fort.
I reckon I could take being locked up for just one night.
You'd be perfectly safe. You'd be in a separate cell right next to Cochran's.
Well, it ain't being safe I'm worried about, Captain. It's just them gall-darn cell bunks and my bones never did get used to each other.
Another border for you, Sheriff.
Now we got plenty of room.
All right, Sonnett, dismount. We're holding him on the same charge of those other two. Gun running.
What happened to that young fellow who was with him?
Well, he promised to show a patrol where the guns are. But this one won't say a word. So put him in a cell. By himself.
Right this way. All right, over there. All right, inside.
All right, turn around, Sonnett.
Got some company for you, Cochran.
We'll be moving to the fort come morning, along with you two. And I doubt if we'll have any more of your sort up this way for a while.
Hey, you. You there, I'm talking at you.
My name ain't you.
He called you Sonnett. Look up here so I can get a good look at your face.
What is this, some kind of zoo? I don't like being here, let alone being bothered by the likes of you.
Will Sonnett. Well, it is you. Well, I'll be hanged.
It's me, all right. And chances is you will be hanged.
You remember me? Sam Cochran. Trading post, Fort Leavenworth?
Oh, I know you. They told me you was in here. But I never liked you before, and I don't see why I should like you now.
Same old Will.
Who's this fella anyway, Sam?
You mean you never heard of Will Sonnett?
No, I heard of Jim Sonnett, though.
Well, that fella right there is Jim's pappy. And in his day, he was more famous than Jim. Young Jim. Used to spend all his time hanging around my store at the fort.
Maybe that's how come he went bad.
Could be. Yes, sir, it could be.
You call this slop food?
Came to the same place you ate this afternoon.
Yeah, it looks like the leavings of the same meal, too.
Well, come tomorrow, you'll be on Army chow. Then you can gripe to them.
Yeah, well, the Army feeds the Indians better than this, and they're starving.
Hey, Will. How's it feel being going back to Leavenworth as a prisoner instead of scout?
Well, you ought to know how it feels. You're going, too.
True. But I've never thought of as highly as the great Will Sonnett.
If he's so great, how come he took to running guns?
Well, the way I got it figured, Will here is not running guns just to any Indian. Him and Red Leaf is old friends.
An army scout in Red Leaf?
That's right. Seems that Will here talked Red Leaf and some of the others into surrendering. And after a trial, they wanted to hang Red Leaf. Seems that old Will here took himself all the way to Washington to get that order set aside. Saved the old chief's life, he did. Isn't that right, Will?
Well, I might as well eat this slop as listen to you two talk.
The army get them guns you was packing, Will?
No, I had 'em hid. But my grandson, he got scared, and he's going to show 'em where.
You just can't trust a soul these days, can you? Now, me, I didn't tell nobody where I stashed my guns. Not even Jack's here.
So why yap about it to him now?
It's all right. We're all in the same buggy. Besides, it feels kind of good being smarter than old Will Sonnett.
You're a lot smarter. That's how come they're taking us both to Leavenworth tomorrow.
That's what they think.
Knock it off, Sam. He ain't with us.
Oh, but he could be. And if he was, sure make it a lot safer dealing with that Red Leaf. A whole lot safer.
Yeah, how's that?
Well, I figured that old Indian wouldn't be so apt to double-cross us if we was to have friend Sonnett here along.
What are you getting at?
Trying to save your life, you old goat. Sam Cochran saving Will Sonnett. Can you imagine that?
No, I can't imagine it.
But you'd be grateful, wouldn't you, Will?
I'd be grateful to a twister if it just blow this goddamn place down.
No twister. I got it all arranged. We're going to be busted out of here in about an hour. And we're taking you along. Get to see your old friend Red Leaf after all.
What in Sam Hill are you doing?
Shh. Quiet.
You hear that?
It'll be the sheriff. Leaving to get his own supper. Means we'll be leaving here ourselves pretty soon.
Don't tell me the sheriff's going to go eat and leave them keys out there.
Oh, no. He's not going to do that. But there's another set.
Huh?
See, when I made the deal to bring Red Leaf his guns, I knew this is the only jail in this part of the country, so I had the keys borrowed, you might say. And I had another set made.
You got 'em hid in your left ear, I suppose, huh?
Just wait, Will. You just wait. There. I guess you believe me now, huh, Will?
Come on, hurry up.
I guess you won't be looking down your nose no more at me, huh, Will?
I reckon not. What about horses?
We'll go out the back way and over to the stables.
What about the stableman?
Well, who do you think handed me the key, Will? Come on. Winchester repeater, some gun, huh?
It sure is.
A dozen of them, and old Red Leaf could whip the whole U.S. of A. Army.
Red Leaf, you say he's coming here for these guns?
Waiting outside of town. As soon as the army rides out, he rides in.
Well, now, I got to hand it to you, Cochran. You worked out a pretty good scheme.
I appreciate that coming from you, Will. Well, let's get out and back and wait.
No, hold on now. Ain't you afraid of being seen? That sheriff's still in town, you know.
Hawks? Well, I told you I had everything arranged. I bought that sheriff before I bought the stable hand here.
You don't say.
Come on.
Hold on now. You know, I ain't used to all this running around and get myself all tuckered out. I think I'd rather just sit here and rest a spell.
Will Sonnett? Tuckered out?
Yeah, well. It's been a big night for me, you know.
You're all right. It's going to be a lot of hard riding after we get rid of the guns, so you rest a spell. I'll go take a look. Well, there's no sign of... Hey.
Get up, Sonnett.
He's done it with him, Grandpa.
Get over there. You too, Sonnett. Your hands high.
He's dead.
Yeah, it sort of looks that way.
If you're figuring to sell them guns to Redleaf yourself, then you better look again. I bent the firing pins in them rifles. And if I know Redleaf, he's too smart to buy a gun without seeing if it works first.
Win some and lose some. It's too bad that I got to tell the Army that Cochran killed you and your boy here. And that I was forced to kill Cochran. I figure the Army might give me kind of a nice bounty for that.
I see you, Sharp Eyes.
I see you, Redleaf. This is the son of my son.
I do not see man I have come to see.
He's over there. He's dead, too.
By your hands, Sharp Eyes?
I killed him.
And these for which I came?
Firing pins are bent. You can't shoot them.
You still work with long knives, Sharp Eyes?
Not so much anymore. But they asked me to help out here. And I said I would.
I do not know this when I see you standing here. I only know you saved my life once. And life of many other Sioux. I was in debt to you, but now, no more.
I understand.
If you ride against us with long knives, I will have to fight you, Sharp Eyes.
I won't be riding again you. But others will, Redleaf. And they'll beat you, too.
I know this. But I will not be driven from the hills again. There is much game to be hunted in the hills. Food is plentiful there. Not like reservation, where Sioux must stand like squaw with outstretched hands to receive little corn and little meat.
I know. And it's too bad. But I can't believe you broke away after all these years just because you was hungry.
There are many kinds of hunger, Sharp Eyes. I hunger to walk with old friends once more, and fellow warriors. Sitting Bull even now has started ghost dance.
He will lead many of my people back here to reclaim their lands.
Another war. I'm sorry, Redleaf. But you'll be hunted down and trapped before Sitting Bull ever gets here. War is for young men, not old warriors like you and me.
Perhaps that is so, Sharp Eyes. But this way it must be.
Then you better get. The soldiers will be back here soon.
You would save my life once more.
Goodbye, old friend.
Goodbye, Sharp Eyes. I hope I do not see you again.
What'll happen now, Grandpa?
Oh, his land, everything he once knew is disappearing. I reckon he'll disappear right along with him. Come on, boy, let's leave this behind. Dear Lord, if there's got to be another war and the dying of many men, let his be swift and merciful. That's all I ask for a friend.